Morning, folks. This morning's soap is brought to us by Stirling Soap. I believe that this one here is pronounced Agar. When I first saw this, my thought was Hagar the Terrible, but anyway, it's the reason why I got it, because of the name. I always think of Hagar the Terrible when I see this. Anyway, started out with about 5.8 ounces of soap, quite a bit of soap, in a container here. There it is. It's firm, but yet it's soft. You can push your finger in there with a little bit of effort. And the scent, it's an oud scent. It's got some cedar, spices. It's a smooth smell. It's not a smooth scent, I should say. At least to my nose it is, in which my nose right now has been kind of, I'm trying to sneeze too. Been kind of off the past few weeks. Got the Allen Block no rubber band this morning. Going to be using Humphrey's witch hazel that's citrus scented, and went ahead this one here I couldn't resist. Went ahead and got the matching aftershave and matching beard oil. Thought, oh well, might as well, why not? I've got it whipped up here in a bowl from the Distinctive Goat, and it's starting to thicken up just a bit, but I'll probably add a little bit more water to it, but it'll come out pretty creamy. This is a 3D printed brush from the Shaven Sailor, if you can see that there. Pretty cool. 3D printed. Up to date, aren't we? It's got a Voskhod blade in it, and this will be its second use. And as it goes for the shaver today, this one here is one of Johnny's favorite shavers. This one here is a Merkur 37C, almost said 34, Slant. Kind of see how it's shaped right there. Maybe kind of hard to tell, but there's a point where this is higher and this is lower. At least it'll appear that way. I don't really notice it when I'm shaving with it. Two-piece design, really easy to shave with. Shaved with it yesterday, just smooth, comfortable, just fantastic. Jill had mentioned this one here. It looks an awful lot like, this is referred to, you can get this at the Italian Barber, Razor Rock German 37, and you can kind of tell they do look very much so alike. Biggest difference is this three-piece, got a different handle, bamboo handle. This handle's bigger in diameter and shorter on the 37C. And here's another version of a Slant. This one here, open comb, similar to the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements open comb Slant. The one I got is ox blood, of course. Blood. And here's another comparison. This one is a lot like the 37C, and it is a two-piece design also. And then you'll see a design like this which looks quite a bit different on how that blade's going to be torqued once you put one in there. Just some examples. Being Fine Accoutrements has their version of slant razors and whatnot. There's a lot of slant razors out there to be choosing from. Just depends on which one you think you might like, and it might be based on price. If you're looking at price, the Bakelite versions, open comb slants, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, the Alpha Elliptic, those run around about $20. That's pretty inexpensive, but like I said, they are made out of Bakelite, so if you're looking for something that's got a little bit more weight, one from Italian Barber, you can get a different handle with this head, so that might be something that appeals to you. But today, Merkur 37C. Now there's a 39C Slant, and looks like it'll have the same head, but the handle will be different. It'll be longer. Can't remember exactly what they refer to that handle as, but go ahead and get started with the Preshave soap here from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. It's unscented but mentholated. It's called Ice. And we've had a little bit of weather running through yesterday and again today. Camera may not pick up the thunder rolling through here this morning, but it's been rolling through since yesterday. It just hasn't made it all the way through yet. As it goes for pre-shave, does it make a difference? I notice it from time to time, but I don't always notice it. So I think it probably depends on the soap and quite possibly the shaver. In my opinion, I don't think I notice it near as much on a mild shaver as I do with one that's a bit more aggressive. One that has a more blade feel, if you will. Get worked in just a little bit here. Yesterday's shave was just fantastic. This shaver is so easy to use. You approach the shave, I mean, just like you would your normal shave. You won't, in other words, you don't do anything different. It's just the angles what makes it different in the way that how it approaches cutting the whiskers. I can smell it. I can actually smell the scent. Like I say, with my nose the way it's been here of late, it's been really hit miss on what I smell and don't smell. You kind of see how I've got it whipped up here. What I refer to from time to time as a yogurt style. Some may refer to it as thin as opposed to fluffy. It's wet. It's not quite drippy. I worked it just past that point. Because typically with a DE shaver, I don't necessarily need it to be, and you say that slick. The wetter it is, the slicker it seems to be, in my opinion. Here we go. This is the second use once again on this particular blade. Yesterday's was just really nice. It is very much smooth shaving, in my opinion. I was going to put in a fresh blade. Decided I'd give it a try with on a second use. There is a difference in between the two already. It's the reason why you typically will take a blade, use it one time, but then it gets retired. Thought I'd give it a try and see how it works in this shaver. And I can tell the difference already. If you're interested in a slant shaver, like I said, there's a lot of them out there and they vary in price. And for me, it took me a little while just to find this one in stock somewhere, or where they were actually carrying it. So I think Merkur, over recent history, and it's just something I noticed here lately. I'm still trying to sneeze. I think they've been discontinuing some of their models over time, and I'm not too sure if this is one of them or not. I think it might, maybe the 39 is the one I'm thinking of. Some of these are really hard to find. So if you're looking for one from Merkur, you might want to, guess you might say, really focus on finding one and getting prepared to go ahead and work it into your budget and getting one. I say some of these were pretty hard to find. It's kind of like at one point in time finding super slant, or super light slant I should say, was not the easiest for me to find at one point in time. It's gotten better now, but there at a point, boy, it was really tough. I like this oud. More or less that's what this is, in my opinion, from what I've been reading and what a person may consider an oud. I'm still new to that part there, Um, when it comes to my knowledge of scents, we're talking about a very small, not much knowledge there. Still trying to learn it. Like I said, you take and use this just like you would any other DE. The slant part takes care of the rest, if you will, as it goes for the angle at which the whiskers are being cut. And I don't really notice the difference on the slant. In other words, the safety bar running at an angle. I really don't notice it. The Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Alpha Elliptic, I think it's how you say it. I always get it mixed up in my head. It's sort of like Hagar the Terrible, huh? But the Alpha Elliptic, I notice on how I put it up to my face, and especially on the across the grain pass, it's really humped up on one side. It's quite a bit higher than the other, and it presets the angle for you. And for me, I've noticed that it feels more comfortable putting it one way as opposed to flipping it over in the other way because of that large hump, if you will. I think that's something that some folks that have had issue with that particular shaver is because of its design is so unique that it may not feel comfortable with that hump one direction, so you might want to flip it around. Once I did that, it felt natural, so maybe that is how it's supposed to be, I don't know. I know for me, I have some pretty good shaves with them. I enjoy using them. It does make put a different spin, a different look on some of your shavers, especially if you're trying to keep a relatively, excuse me, small den. What shavers do you keep? You tried it out, and now you're going to turn loose of it, let somebody else have a crack at it. Whether you give it away or you put them all out on out for sale, buy, sell, trade, or whatever the case might be. For me, I think the journey is what's the fun part for me. I enjoy going back and revisiting them because the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, the open comb slant, to me is a pretty, it's aggressive as well as efficient. It's very efficient. So for me, that journey learning what I have learned with those shavers, definitely worthwhile in my opinion. I haven't been able to watch all of Carl's video just yet, but he broke out the Focus Dynamic, I think it's R48. That's a very unique shaver. Yes, it is. It took me a moment to figure out how to use it, but after I went back to thinking just use it as a single edge without pivoting head, it seemed to help me out quite a bit, plus watching the video from the Superior Shave, listening to his thoughts on how he thought it should be used, and then going from there with it. It's a lot like with the slant razor. You'll find some are more aggressive than others. This one here is a good one to use in my opinion. It's very smooth, easy to use. Just, find the blade that works best for you, and I think you'll be quite happy with it. Starting out, I should say. It's not aggressive in my opinion, so if you're looking for an aggressive one, this one here is not yours. Aggressive in that blade feel like on the open comb slant from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. That thing there has a lot of blade feel. Very efficient. I think for some folks, they could probably get by with a 2-pass shave with that shaver. I mean, it's pretty darn aggressive, at least for me it is. I like using it from time to time just to help keep things in perspective. I've been waiting for a moment to work this one in, but boy howdy. I think this was a better buy for me than just going up and getting the 34C. So I was talking about two-piece design right there. Kind of hollow right there. I guess I should show you what it looks like right there. As it goes for fit and finish, depends on what you're going to compare it to. The fit and finish is quite alright. It's okay. If you're going to compare it to an Edwin Jagger, you're probably going to be disappointed. But none of the fit and finish affects how it shaves. And in my opinion, the best thing to do when you go to load this is to load it upside down. Put your blade in there, hold this upside down, place the rest of it on top, and just let the gravity, the weight of the handle, help set that for when you're going to put this, tighten it up. I didn't tighten it up all the way, but you can kind of get the idea what it looks like, as well as for me, I haven't had any. I tried it a few times. I look at the blade, and I haven't had to fiddle with the blade. So if fiddling with the blade is an issue for you, I think that sneeze is coming. Oh, excuse me. But anyway, fiddling with the blade has not seemed to be an issue with that. And if you do have to fiddle with it, I did get some shaving cream up there, didn't I? If you do have to fiddle with it, it's just a minor adjustment. That would be been my experience. I haven't had to adjust it. It always looks good to me. There's been one time it looked like I might want to tweak it just a little bit, but it did not look like it would be enough to matter in the shave, so I left it alone, and it went alright. Post-shave feel, pretty smooth. I think the more I use it, the better the shave would be in the closeness of the shave. This is definitely sociably acceptable. And the soap has done really good about keeping my face feeling moisturized. Even on my, I guess you might say, my trouble spots, it did really well. To me, that's the advantage of having the slant. For me, on the places where I have some spots that are kind of tough. That little strip right through there for me, it was taken care of. I have just a little bit of stinging on the neck down here. It's probably me just needing to get used to using the shaver. But I don't have any, at least not any that I can see, any nicks, cuts, or weepers or anything like that. It's yesterday's shave and today's shave, pretty nice. I can definitely tell the difference in between yesterday's shave and today's shave as it goes for the sharpness of the blade, though. Like I say, I typically just do a one and done. But I thought today I'd give it a try, see how it worked out. Because yesterday's shave was just so smooth. Man, it was just awesome. It kind of reminded me of the Focus Dynamic and how smooth and easy and comfortable it is to use. That Focus Dynamic, I think there's a bit more of a learning curve than what some folks realize, especially if you're not used to using a single edge shaver. My best advice is try to use it as a shaver that has a fixed head, and as it goes for the clicking, don't let the click take place until the end of the stroke. To me, that's kind of a natural click. It's not anything that you're doing wrong. But if it's clicking in between, you might want to stop and think about what you're doing to see, try to figure out why it's clicking. Get your angle and pressure wrong, in other words, most likely. Could be one or the other, but sometimes it's both. Oud, I love oud. My first one, Figaro, I guess you might say, is of the Figaro lineup. You know, you've seen the red tubs, the black tubs, all the different color tubs, and the gold one is the one I really like the most. That one and the matching aftershave is just, that was my first, I guess you might say, real taste, and really like that one. That one's just awesome. Oh, by the way, I'll be using this off camera if you're waiting to see that. Really nice shave. There's something else in my nose is picking up, and maybe it's not truly it's smelling it, but that maybe the scent is off with my nose the way it is, but I did pick up something else. Maybe it's the blend of two that's making me think it's something else. But anyway, had a great shave. Video went a little bit longer than what I expected. Hope everybody's doing well. Like they say, high water on the road, turn around, don't drown. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.